Wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Hello and welcome to Marketing Edge on TV, Nigerians' leading initiative in the business of brand management and the management of brand business. It is a 30-minute wholesome package that comprises brand news, branding focus, and industry conversation, all in a mix encompassing thorough and in-depth, all aimed at promoting the brand idea. I'm Ogali Adikele Mafu.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
Welcome back. First on Marketing Edge on TV is Brand News, where we bring you the latest developments around brands and in the field of advertising, marketing, and communication in Nigeria and around the globe. Now on Brand News.
It is with great pride we announce the launch of Airtel Touching Lives Season 7.
Airtel Nigeria, a leading telecommunications company, has flagged off the 7th edition of its corporate social responsibility CSR initiative, Airtel Touching Lives. The Chief Executive Officer of Airtel, C. Surendra, made this announcement at a press briefing held at Southern Sun Hotel, Ikoyi, Lagos, where he said the Season 7 of the life-changing initiative is aimed at promoting digital accessibility and inclusion in education and officially opened for nomination. According to the CEO, Airtel Corporate Social Responsibility revolves around 3 pillars, which are financial inclusion for the unbanked and provision of quality and accessible education to better the lives of underprivileged in communities. Airtel noted that individuals can nominate people or communities that they think deserve this assistance by calling or sending an SMS to 367.
We're excited.
Airtel Touching Lives is a season 7 that we are inaugurating now, right? And in the last 6 years, this program has been very well received by the communities, right? And we have identified, every year we identify 10 projects. This could be individuals, this could be family, this could be communities, right? Where we believe that by supporting them, the lives change for them and the community and the family. So it has really worked so very well, and we're looking forward to taking this forward from here, and trying our best to impact the lives of more people and in this country, and particularly the communities that we serve.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
To further strengthen its determination to ensure strict adherence to ethical standards and professionalism, the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, ARCON, has inducted new members into its fold. At the induction ceremony which held in the Hola Hotel, Maryland, Lagos over the weekend, 122 practitioners were inducted as associate members, while 5 members were upgraded to full membership. The Director General of the APES regulatory body, Dr. Olale Confadolapo, while welcoming the inductees, reiterated that ARCON has a body is resolute in maintaining high level of professionalism. He urged the inductees to remain focused and adhere to all the stipulated guidelines of the profession, noting that the new regulatory framework is operational as part of its initiative to reposition the advertising industry for growth. Recall that the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, ARCON, recently rebranded in line with its mandate to revolutionize the advertising industry in Nigeria and make it globally competitive. The Director General had hinted that the advertising industry will witness a radical transformation that will herald a new dispensation of equity, fairness, and ethical advertising. To further seek legal understanding for the effective implementation of the law, the Out-of-Home Advertising Association of Nigeria, OAN, has passed the newly signed Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, ARCON law to a group for review and better interpretation to its members. President of OAN Emmanuel Ajufo said this while speaking with Marketing Edge in an interview. The sectorial head, who commended the new law, which was officially unveiled by the Director General Dr. Olalekan Fadolapo recently, described it as a strategic development to correct some of the anomalies found in the industry. Addressing the general state of advertising, Ajufo noted that industry is intertwined with the economy and so cannot be separated from the realities facing the economy. As Nigerians and the world over demonstrate patriotism and love by exploring the opportunities of the Independence Day celebrations to accentuate their desire for good governance, infrastructural development, and economic growth, brands have also lent their support for the occasion. To display optimism and exercise their fundamental rights to demand good leadership, millions of Nigerians took to the streets around major cities in the country to drum up their support for equity, fairness, and a credible electoral process in the 2023 general elections. For brands taking to their social media platforms with an iconic display of creative and aesthetic display arrayed in white and green accompanied with captivating captions was a brilliant way to encapsulate the emotive significance of the day. Picnic, a leading dairy brand, Kellogg's, a leading cereal company, Montina, a beverage company, had unique display of the green and white with captivating captions. Access Bank took advantage of the moment to advocate for unity in diversity with a picture depicting the multiculturality of the country, while First Bank posted a short video of Independence Day greeting with the Chief Executive Officer. Meanwhile, in a nationwide broadcast earlier in the day, President Muhammadu Buhari, who reeled out his achievements, congratulated Nigerians for the dawn of a new year as a nation.
Well, that was brand news. Next is Brand in Focus after this break.
I trained so hard for just one shot.
At least you won. For me, I've been training my whole life, hoping one day I'll get signed. It's been crazy.
Ah! God, how old you be?
My coach never gave me age.
You think that's crazy? Crazy is having a job and a boss like mine.
Really? No one understands compared to making thousands of decisions daily. It's exhausting.
If decision making is all I have to do all day, then my life would have been blissful. Try practicing the dance routine and tell me what's more challenging.
Challenge. Being a single mother no be beans, my dear.
That's why anytime I need that extra energy, Amber Energy drink day for me.
Stimulate the energy in you.
Does your toothpaste give you complete fresh protection? New Close-Up Toothpaste Complete Fresh Protection takes care of your 5 important oral care needs. It gives you strong teeth, prevents tooth holes, cleans deeply, fights bacteria, and gives you fresh breath. Complete fresh protection from Close-Up.
We don't like to eat better, more nutritious meals, more veggies, but we want it tasty and easy too. Knorr Cubes, that's the secret. Made with real ingredients like chicken, parsley, and garlic. And enriched with iron, so your meals are better for you and more delicious too. That's the cocoa. Let's give it some accolades. Change your world by changing what's on your plate.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
Now on Branding Focus. Metaverse is a generic term for experiences that go beyond the physical through connected virtual worlds, offering new ways for people to communicate and interact. There are reports that it is in its earlier stages of its development and could be years or even decades away from being used to its full potential. Basically, the key technologies that represent the building blocks of Metaverse have actually been around for some time. The crucial added element in the new reality is that users don't have to do it alone. They can talk to and play alongside friends and strangers alike to the heart's content. Interest in the Metaverse is expanding at an astronomical speed, even as tech behemoths like Microsoft reportedly bid £50 billion for video game maker Activision Blizzard. Microsoft correctly identified gaming as a key foundation for Metaverse platforms, and is just the latest move among technology experts that are keen to make the most of the opportunity. It would be recorded that Facebook also strategically rebranded its present company as Meta, seemingly staking future growth on grabbing the big share of the space. However, Samat Sensorial, ad industry icon, recently unveiled S4S Venture, a VC fund targeting early-stage companies with interest that include exploring commercial models within the Metaverse. The facilitation of communication and peer-to-peer engagement is at the heart of the Metaverse. At present, there are no rules. Metaverse can truly be whatever anybody thinks it is, and people can do as they please. It's essentially an undefined space, one that is building its own communities and taking the communication concept of messenger to a far higher level. While the physical world is built with boundaries, Metaverse offers freedom in the shape of a new level of reality. Virtual reality, VR, has a role to play in the Metaverse, of course, and is already being harnessed by the likes of travel brands keen to instantly transport people to desirable destinations. But augmented reality, AR, is likely to be the technology that really makes interest in the Metaverse take off. With AR, once tech companies like Apple get their acts together and finally launch glasses that allow the wearer to experience a blend of physical and virtual reality, users can take to the streets in everyday trainers, but proudly show off to passerby in Metaverse. This boundless freedom of expression is perhaps its greatest promise.
When I was branding focus, next is industry conversation, where we have interactions with men and women who have made great impacts in the business of brand management. Well, today we have with us the managing director and founder of Ark Technologies Group, Mr. Uche Ugbor, after this break.
What's up, man? I trained so hard for just one shot.
At least you won. For me, I've been training my whole life, hoping that one day I'll get signed. It's been crazy.
God, how old would you be?
My coach never gave me age.
You think that's crazy? Crazy is having a job and a boss like mine.
Really? No one understands. Compared to making thousands of decisions daily, it's exhausting.
If decision making is all I have to do all day, then my life would have been blissful. Try practicing a dance routine and tell me what's more challenging.
Challenge. Being a single mother no be beans, my dear.
That's why anytime I need that extra energy, Amber energy drink day for me.
Stimulate the energy in you.
You are my sunlight. You are my sunlight.
Sunlight makes things easier, so you can do more.
You are my sunlight.
When you become more, you inspire others to be more too. Sunlight is here to support you as you reach for more success.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
Hello and welcome to Industry Conversation, a segment on Marketing Edge on TV where we have interactions with men and women who have made great impact in strategic positioning and promotion of brands. Today we have with us the Managing Director and Founder of Ark Technologies Group, Mr. Uche Ugbor. You're welcome to Industry Conversation.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And I would like to say it's such a pleasant, opportunity to be meeting the first assembler of ATM in Nigeria. That's
Thank
such a
you.
remarkable feat.
Thank you.
Well, I would
Thank you for
like
that.
you to talk to us about the industry in terms of how far has it gone, being the first person to actually come up with an idea of assembling an ATM, automated service in Nigeria.
All right, the industry has really gone so far, and I would say dated back to the first deployment of ATM in Nigeria, which could be as far back as probably 2003, 2004. At that point, there was no interoperability among the banks until the InterSwitch and this like came into being. And so we could talk about ATM from the point when banks are able to operate. You could have a Zenith card and then you take your money out of UBA. And that essentially would be started about maybe 2005, 2006. And since then, it's been a very steady growth. If not for one or two, I would say, policy issues that has tried to decline the growth of that particular industry. And so far, so good, I would say. We've tried to do our best to see that that industry really grows. From the very first ATM deployed and to the point when everywhere, the ATM, it was moving really to be deployed every nooks and cranny everywhere in Nigeria until recently that a few policies came up, a few issues came up, and then it does seem like the banks are no longer, the appetite to deploy ATM has reduced, significantly.
Okay, you made mention of the government policy becoming a challenge to your business. And we're beginning to see a lot of people moving to different digital formats, and platform to carry out their various payment services. Now, would you also say that this is also a challenge to you because people wouldn't have to go to ATM machines to, do their various transactions?
No, it wouldn't be a challenge. Actually, these things were meant to be complementary, right? It's meant to complement each other in being able to make people have access to their money and be able to use it wherever they want to use it. Okay. Now, in our own climate, there is need for cash. There's still very much need for cash, and there's also a need for electronic transfers. We can't take away the fact that we're not yet there when we talk about full cashless. There are infrastructures that is meant to be on ground, before you can really talk about being full cashless, and those infrastructures in some areas are not yet on ground, when we're talking about, don't forget there are villages. Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Abuja is not a typical example of what represents all Nigeria. Okay, so there are infrastructures that are clearly lacking in certain locations. But part of what I was saying really is, at some point, the government granted some licenses for people to do independent ATM deployment. Then later the license that policy was also reversed. Then came up with a whole lot of things. But the main one that has affected the industry right now is the fact that a lot of banks have lost, the appetite has dropped because a lot are now investing on agency banking. All right. And that's why you see a lot of people in the streets, in the market, having POS and then doing bank work, so to speak. But really, as an industry practitioner, I think that shouldn't be the way we should go. I think that these are mundane jobs that machine would do better than a human being. For a graduate to sit under an umbrella and be giving money and be collecting money and things that is fully employed, I think it's a mistake. So partly the fact that CBN woke up and say that we're taking out the 100 naira payment that people used to pay when you withdraw money from ATM has a very big impact on the industry. Okay, and further it went down to 65, further it went down to 35. And so these are some of those challenges that sometimes you wonder, it's this well thought through, because the fact that the banks are no longer buying ATMs the way they used to buy has reduced the people that were meant to invest in that industry has now started to look for alternative ways. Okay. So even if you go to the likes of the most developed countries in the world, in the US, in the UK, or Korea. You see ATMs everywhere, in China, everywhere. Now, our environment is a little bit different. Our environment is such that we cannot go and copy what is done in other climates and just come and paste it. We needed to paste it special. We need to look at the peculiarities of our environment before certain decisions are taken. Okay, so that is one side. But what is also important to note here is that the fact that some companies that by now would have been manufacturing ATMs in Nigeria has changed the plan, all right, and start investing in other things, meant that other digital devices that we would have been able to produce by now, we are still not able to do it. For instance, the POS or even the kiosks and the what is called, I mean, a digital bank, a kiosk that is able to make you get your card, deposit your money, withdraw your money, pay your NEPA bill, pay your light bill, and even up to the point of paying for your CFO for your building. Now, these are the things that an ATM can really do. But the investment in that area, the research in that area has really dwindled, because if you don't make money in doing a business, you have no reason remaining in that business. Okay. And these monies were made by the fact that the banks were ordering for the ATMs, and the banks were putting these ATMs in certain locations. Sometimes we call it offsite, you know. And for now, that idea has really reduced seriously among the banks. You know, having offsite ATMs for some of them is no longer profitable. So again, for a bank, why should you go into that? You understand? So these are the challenges. However, I don't think that it means that ATM will the dream we have of making Nigeria very independent in terms of capacity to produce some of these digital devices that are required. I think that this dream still exists. I know it still exists. I know we are still working on it, and I know that's why we are able to do our own assembly of the ATM down here. And we know we are going to scale up from that point to other areas. I mean, as long as the environment, the operating environment allows us to do that, why not? We will. We know how harsh it is, but we will do our best.
Okay, so we've seen a rapid shift to technology, different forms of digital, devices, I should say. And you clearly stated that you're looking at enhancing your services and to meet up with the current yearnings of your consumers. But there's something else I would like you to talk about, which is, of course, technological adoption. Because if there is no technological adoption, then people wouldn't really see the need for your service. So how would you assess the level of technological adoption in Nigeria as it is today? Seeing that the pandemic has greatly impacted on every sector, and people are beginning to look for digital means to solve their problems.
If there's any country in the world that is hunger for technology, or the adoption is very fast, Nigeria is one of them. In fact, we are very peculiar people. Sometimes in fact, all the time, I'm very proud to be a Nigerian. Because when I travel to other countries and see what's happening and see the level we are, particularly in terms of our payments, right? What we're able to do here, in some of the countries that you might even think they're well advanced, are not yet at that level. So, to answer the question, yes, the adoption in Nigeria has been very, 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 very massive, and it's going to continue. Don't forget, we have a youthful generation. I mean, we have more youths in the country than the other. So, chances are that yes, the adoption is going to continue. We are very open. In fact, the appetite to consume technology or digital-related offerings is very high in Nigeria compared to a whole lot of other places. So I would say any investment in that direction is not a mistake at all.
So you talked about the impact of government policy on the financial sector and how it's also impacting on your business. And something came to mind. We're beginning to see that telcos are getting into the payment system and opening PSB, payment service banks. And aside the fact that we also have commercial banks having this small, subset of, services in different corners to meet the financial needs of consumers. We also see telcos doing the same. So how does this impact on your business?
Okay. We are not in the business of, we are not in the financial business. We are in the digital support business. In other words, we support banks to be able to deliver their services digitally. So whether it is a payment service bank, whether it is a commercial bank opening a fintech, or whether it is any of those things happen, it doesn't interfere really with our own. Ours is, people have got their money in the bank, they want to have access to it, and they want to use it anytime they want. So we produce, or we assemble ATMs that will make them have cash if they want, and we personalize cards. So make them also have their money through the card schemes. Okay? So whether it is PSB or whether it is a bank, they still need our services. As I've said, in our line of business, we are into the ATM, the physical ATM. We're also into the cards, right? So we have the capacity to personalize the cards and make you have access to your money anytime using your card, right from your bedroom, using the internet. Okay, so we're actually happy to see other kind of innovative service provision coming from other sectors. I mean, coming from the banks and other people. And I think it's going to continue, because if you look at what's happening in fintechs, if you look at what's happening in, I mean, everybody would rather enjoy the convenience of doing whatever it has to do without going to the banking hall. Everybody would like that. I would love that. I mean, I'm sure you would like that. So all these services are all geared towards helping you to achieve it. And what we do is that we stay behind these banks and provide the devices, both the hardware and the software, that will enable them provide those services. So we don't interface directly with the financial consuming public.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
Well, that's a much we can take on Marketing Edge on TV this week. Do well to join us for the second part of our conversation with the Managing Director of Ark Technologies Group, Mr. Uche Ugbor. I'm Ogalia Bikele Mafru. See you again.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Honey, what time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am here live at the aftermath of the approval of the new national minimum wage.
We are TV Station of the Year, not just for breaking news, but for being first, fair and accurate. TVC News, first with breaking news.
It's not your regular show. It's an online interactive session where we share my views on the everyday issues that cut across politics, security, health, current affairs, governance, and so much more. I am passionate about our country. I choose to support any conversation geared towards building a better Nigeria. I am Babajide Kolaji Otitoju. Join me every Saturday on TVC News YouTube channel as I discuss Nigeria and the world at large on the show Issues with Jide.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications.